the Pupco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. Press Row is brought to you by Cox High-Speed Internet. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell, and we're going to play 5 and 5, Barry. 5 topics in 5 minutes. We're going to start off with OSU. How can it lose to Texas?
Well, it's going to be very difficult. I don't know that the Cowboys can lose. But I guess if Brandon Weeden throws interceptions and Texas protects the ball, that makes up for a lot. We saw Texas last week against OU really not protecting the ball. The game got away from them quick. Texas protects the ball and Brandon Weeden does not, then Texas is right there in it.
I'm not sure they can win this game, which is really surprising considering how quickly the reversal of this series has come. A year ago, we were all talking about, Oklahoma State going to Austin, trying to reverse a long-time trend of losing games in Austin, games to the Longhorns. Now we're talking about how could they lose? Barry, this is a huge reversal of fortunes. I agree. It's all about turnovers. If Brandon Weeden takes care of the ball, Joe Randall takes care of the ball, no way Texas wins.
I don't think Texas defensive backs can guard OSU. I don't think they can cover Cooper and Blackman and Anium and those guys. I think OSU receivers are going to be running free.
All right. Next topic. Ryan Broyles, greatest OU receiver ever?
I'm not even completely convinced he's the best OU receiver on this team. I'm not sure Stills isn't better. But the answer is yes. Ryan Broyles is the greatest OU receiver ever. It's really a three-man race. Eddie Hinton, Mark Clayton, and now Ryan Broyles. And what Broyles has done over 4 years, I think you have to go with Broyles. He's been so productive and so big in so many games. I'd love to see Eddie Hinton, the great wingback from 66 through 68, play in this offense. Yeah. I think he'd be unbelievable. But we are seeing Ryan Broyles play in it, and he is unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I was just thinking as you were talking, Eddie Hinton in this offense, wouldn't it be fun to see what he could have done if given the opportunity? But you can't reverse the clock. You can't change things up. And Ryan Broyles, obviously, he lives in a day and age, Barry, where they do throw the ball. I think the thing to me that stands out about Ryan Broyles, he never drops passes. And it's just unbelievable when he does occasionally muff one. You're shocked. That, to me, is the hallmark of Ryan Broyles and all these catches.
He is great. You're right. He never drops the ball. Now, last week against Texas, over the middle, he caught one, and a Longhorn guy popped him pretty good and dislodged the ball. And you never even see that happen. It's amazing.
Yeah, just a shocker. Okay, next topic. TCU. Can it compete for Big 12 titles?
Absolutely. There's absolutely nothing to prevent TCU from winning the Big 12 baseball championship in the very first year. TCU is not going to win a football title, I don't think, anytime in the foreseeable future. It's just, look at how good Texas Tech teams have been. Look at how good A&M has been on occasion. Look how good OSU's been. They haven't won any. It's the OU Texas stronghold. I think TCU is going to face the same thing. I think they're going to be competitive. I think they're going to be fun. I think they're going to have a great time. I don't think they're going to win any hardware anytime soon.
Yeah, football to me, Barry, when you see these mid-major teams move into major conferences, I think it is going to take a lot of things to fall into place for TCU to get to that level. Now, I will say this. Gary Patterson's teams play defense. And to me, a team built around great defense has got a better chance. And I think it's going to be interesting, too. What does TCU do with this recruiting? How do they parlay this into an increase in talent, and what does that ultimately do? We may not see the results right away, but that to me is really interesting about this TCU move.
Well, like I said, I think they're going to do well. I think they'll be competitive from the start. I think they're going to go to bowl games. I think they're going to knock off their share of teams. But to win the Big 12, you got to beat Texas and Oklahoma. And by the time TCU gets up and running, who knows if Texas will still be down. OSU's coming on. It's going to be tough on the Frogs.
All right, next topic. Big 12. 10 or 12 teams. Now at 10 with TCU. You want 10 or 12?
I want 12. I want a championship game. I like the divisional play. Nothing drives me crazier than hearing people say, well, with a round-robin schedule, you get a true champion. All those trophies they passed out at the end of Big 12 title games the last 15 years, I guess they don't count. It's ridiculous. I like the 12. I think it brings status to the conference. I think it puts you on the stage that Saturday in December with a championship game. I like 12.
I used to be against the championship game because you didn't see it in every conference, but now pretty much everybody is moving the way of a championship game. To me, that adds to the validity of a conference game, a championship game. I think it will be 12 eventually. Barry, I think it's going to be interesting to see. Missouri, do they stay? And if they do, what does that do to expansion? Does that mean maybe they look west and get a Boise BYU Western package, or do they have to look more east to fill Missouri's role? I think ultimately it will be 12. Is it a year? Is it 2 years?
Well, I don't think we'll have 12 in 2012. I think we're stuck at 10 for 2012, whether Missouri stays or goes. I think 2013 is the target date. I think they're going to go 12. David Moore and Burns Hargis have both said they want 12. Texas wants 10. It could be a power play.
All right, last of our 5 and 5. The NBA. Are we going to miss it?
Yes. We'll miss it in January.
In January,
We're
right.
not going to miss it until then. For
Right.
crying out loud, we got football to play. Hey, remember when the Hornets got here and how excited we are? Think about why we were excited about the Hornets getting here in the autumn of 2005. The Sooners stunk, the Cowboys stunk. We didn't have any big-time football games. Now we got a big-time football game. You realize OU or OSU has played the national game of the week 3 times already. And we've still got games like OU K-State. We've got the Bedlam, got the OU A&M. We got big-time games still coming. Nobody's going to care about the NBA until the long, dark January gets here, and we're going to say, hey, why aren't they playing hoops?
Yeah, and you know what? They've canceled 2 weeks worth of games already. That includes a game against the Lakers, but it was in LA. Obviously, it was going to be great TV, but not local. The 2 games locally, though, you lose Indiana and Toronto. I don't know if we're really crying over those home game losses. So I don't know if we miss it just yet, but Barry, I got to tell you, if we get to January post Bowls and there's no NBA, what in the world are we going to do around here?
Well, we're going to hope Lon Kruger and Travis Ford can play some good basketball this year. I mean, we've sort of put college basketball on the back burner.
For good reason.
This is the chance for college hoops to retake the stage, and maybe they'll do it.
All right, that's all the time for 5 and 5. Thanks for joining us on the press row, and be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.